How to become a high-value man? Most men want respect, but few become respectable. Most men want success, but few build the habits that create it. A high-value man is not born. He is built through discipline, built through struggle, built through self-control. Success is not magic. It is daily discipline practiced consistently. The world does not reward weak habits. It rewards strong character. A high-value man does not chase attention. He chases growth. He controls his emotions, controls his time, controls his mind. While others waste years complaining, he improves himself quietly. That is why people respect him. Not because he talks big, but because he lives differently. Now ask yourself honestly, who are you becoming every day? Because every habit is shaping your future. Every decision is building your character. Every day is either making you stronger or weaker. And the moment a man decides to master himself, his life begins to change forever. A high-value man is not defined by money alone, not by status, not by appearance. He is defined by character, by discipline, by self-control. And that is where everything begins. Because many men want success, but few are willing to become the man success requires. Now listen carefully. Every man has potential, but potential means nothing without action. It must be developed, shaped, trained, like a muscle. At first it is weak, undisciplined, easily distracted. But through consistent effort, it becomes strong. That is how a high-value man is built. Not in one moment, but in thousands of small daily decisions. Waking up when you said you would wake up. Working when you don't feel like working. Staying focused when distractions pull you away. These are not big actions, but they build a powerful identity. Now let me tell you something important. Most men fail not because life is hard, but because they are inconsistent. They start strong, then lose focus, then give up. And slowly, their confidence breaks. Their discipline weakens. Their direction disappears. Small disciplines repeated daily lead to massive success. That is the secret. A high-value man understands this. He does not depend on motivation. He depends on systems, habits, routines, because motivation fades, but discipline remains. Now imagine two men. One waits for motivation. The other builds discipline. One scrolls through life. The other builds his future. One reacts to life. The other creates his life. That is the difference. Now understand this deeply. A high-value man is not perfect. He is not without mistakes. But he does not stay down. He learns. He adjusts. He improves. Every failure becomes feedback. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes training. That mindset alone separates him from the average man. Because average men avoid discomfort. High-value men face it. They choose growth over comfort, discipline over pleasure, purpose over distraction, and slowly, their life begins to transform. Confidence grows. Respect grows. Inner strength grows. Not because the world changed, but because they changed. Now let me ask you something. What are your daily habits building? Strength or weakness? Discipline or distraction? Because your life is not shaped in big moments. It is shaped in ordinary moments. How you spend your mornings, how you respond to challenges, how you treat your responsibilities. That is where your identity is formed. Work harder on yourself than you do on anything else. That is the foundation of a high-value man. He understands that improvement is not optional. It is necessary, because without growth, he becomes stagnant, weak, lost. But with growth, he becomes focused, strong, unshakable. And that is the beginning of real value. Not what he shows the world, but who he becomes in private. A high-value man is built in silence, through discipline, consistency, and self-mastery. A goal without a deadline is just a dream. Think about that. Many men have dreams, big dreams, clear dreams, but very few have deadlines. And without deadlines, nothing moves, nothing changes, nothing is forced into action. Now listen carefully. A high-value man does not only think about what he wants, he decides when he will get it done. Because time gives structure to discipline, and structure creates results. Let me tell you something important. When you delay everything, you train your mind to delay everything, and that habit slowly destroys ambition. You say, I will start tomorrow. I will do it next week. I have time. But tomorrow becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And suddenly, years are gone, and nothing has changed. Without urgency, even the best plans die quietly. That is why deadlines matter. A deadline creates pressure, and pressure creates action. Now imagine two men. One says, I will improve my life someday. The other says, I will change my life in the next 30 days. One lives in comfort. The other lives with direction. One delays. The other executes. That is the difference between average and high value. Now understand this deeply. A high value man respects time, not just his own time, but life itself. He knows time is the most valuable resource he has. Once lost, it never returns. So he treats every goal seriously. He assigns a time frame. He commits, even when he feels lazy, even when motivation disappears, even when distractions appear. He still moves, because the deadline is real. Now let me ask you something. How many things in your life are still unfinished? Because you never gave them a deadline? Goals without deadlines become excuses. Dreams without deadlines become fantasies. Plans without deadlines become delays. And delays slowly destroy confidence. Because every unfinished promise to yourself weakens your self-trust. But when you start finishing things, something powerful happens. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to believe in your discipline. You begin to respect your own word. That is the beginning of a high-value man. Self-respect comes from keeping promises to yourself. Now understand this. Deadlines are not pressure from the outside. They are commitment from the inside. They are a decision, a standard, a rule you refuse to break. And when you live like that, your life becomes organized, focused, intentional. You stop drifting. You stop reacting. You start leading your life. Now imagine your life 1 year from now. If every goal had a deadline, if every action had urgency, if every day had purpose, your life would not be the same. It would be stronger, clearer, more disciplined. And that is exactly how high-value men are built. Not through wishes, but through deadlines. Not through hopes, but through execution. A high-value man does not wait for time. He commands time with deadlines and discipline. Small thinking leads to small results. Think about that. Most men do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because they think too small. They aim low. They settle early. They expect little from themselves. And slowly, their life becomes a reflection of their thinking. Now listen carefully. A high-value man does not think in limits. He thinks in possibilities. He thinks in growth. He thinks in expansion. Because your thinking sets the ceiling for your life. If you think small, you live small. If you think average, you become average. But when you start thinking big, everything begins to change. Your actions change. Your discipline changes. Your expectations change. Now let me tell you something important. Thinking big is not about ego. It is not about arrogance. It is not about showing off. It is about vision. A high-value man sees beyond his current situation. He does not let his present condition define his future potential. Your life expands in proportion to your thinking. Now imagine two men. One thinks, I just need to get by. The other thinks, I want to build something meaningful. One survives. The other grows. One stays safe. The other takes responsibility for his future. That is the difference. Now understand this deeply. Big thinking requires courage, because when you think big, you must also act big. And acting big means responsibility, discipline, consistency. Many men avoid big thinking because it exposes their habits. It reveals their weakness. It demands change. But a high-value man embraces that pressure. He understands, if I want more from life, I must become more. To change your life, you must first change your thinking. Now listen carefully. Thinking big is not about dreaming without action. It is about setting higher standards. Higher standards for your time. Higher standards for your discipline. Higher standards for your behavior. Because standards shape identity. And identity shapes results. Now ask yourself, what are you expecting from your life? Are you thinking small? Or are you challenging yourself to grow? Because most people stay stuck, not because life is unfair, but because their thinking never evolves. They repeat the same thoughts, the same routines, the same limitations, and they expect a different life. But a high-value man breaks that pattern. He challenges his thinking. He expands his vision. He refuses to stay mentally small. Now understand this. Big thinking will stretch you. It will make you uncomfortable. It will push you beyond your current identity. But that is exactly where growth happens. Outside comfort, outside familiarity, outside limitation. That is where transformation begins. Don't shrink your vision to match your current situation. Expand your vision to match your potential. A high-value man is not defined by where he is today. He is defined by how far he is willing to think. Because the moment you start thinking bigger, you start becoming bigger. And that is where real change begins. Self-respect is the foundation of a high-value man. Think about that. A man can lose money and rebuild it. He can lose opportunities and find new ones. He can even lose time and still recover. But when a man loses his self-respect, he loses everything. Now listen carefully. A high-value man protects one thing above all else: his character, his integrity, his word, because self-respect is not given. It is built day by day through choices, small choices, quiet choices, private choices. When no one is watching, what you do in private defines your value in public. That is the truth most people ignore. Now let me ask you something. Do you keep promises to yourself, or do you break them easily? Because every broken promise weakens self-respect. Every excuse, every delay, every shortcut, it all adds up. Slowly, silently, it lowers your standards. And when standards drop, so does confidence. So does discipline. So does direction. Now understand this deeply. A high-value man does not negotiate with his standards. He does not say, just this once. I'll start tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Because he knows every compromise has a cost. A man without standards becomes a slave to circumstances. Now think about this. When you respect yourself, you behave differently. You choose discipline over comfort, honesty over shortcuts, responsibility over excuses. Not because someone is watching, but because you are watching yourself. That is maturity. Now let me tell you something important. The world will always test your standards. People will tempt you to lower them. Situations will pressure you to break them. Comfort will try to weaken them. But a high-value man stands firm. He understands. If I lose my standards, I lose myself. And once a man loses himself, nothing else can fill that void. Now listen carefully. Self-respect is built in silence. No applause, no audience, no validation, just discipline, just consistency, just honesty with yourself. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that destroys your standards. That is power. Now imagine a man who respects himself deeply. He wakes up with purpose. He works with discipline. He speaks with integrity. He moves with confidence. Not because he is perfect, but because he is consistent. And people notice that. They may not always understand him, but they respect him. Because self-respect always becomes visible. Now let me ask you one final question. What are you willing to tolerate in your life? Because whatever you tolerate, you eventually become. And a high-value man tolerates nothing that lowers his standards. Not laziness, not excuses, not self-betrayal. He chooses discipline. He chooses growth. He chooses respect. And that is why he rises. A high-value man is not built by the world. He is built by the standards he refuses to break. Money is a tool, not a master. Think about that. A high-value man understands money deeply, but he does not worship it. He respects it. He learns it. He uses it wisely, but he never lets it control his character. Now listen carefully. There is a difference between loving money and being controlled by money. One leads to freedom. The other leads to slavery. A weak man chases money blindly. He thinks money will fix everything. But in the process, he loses discipline. He loses values. He loses himself. And that is too high a price. If you are not careful, you will sacrifice your character for comfort. Now, a high-value man is different. He loves money in a healthy way. Not emotionally. Not desperately. Not greedily. But intelligently. He understands that money is a result of value, a result of discipline, a result of service. So he focuses on becoming valuable first, because money follows value, not the other way around. Now think about this. When a man respects money, he learns how to manage it, how to grow it, how to multiply it. But when a man worships money, he becomes impatient. He becomes emotional. He makes poor decisions. And slowly, he loses control. Now listen carefully. A high-value man is never desperate for money, because desperation destroys judgment. He is calm. He is focused. He is patient. He knows money will come. If he becomes valuable enough, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That is the real strategy. Not chasing money, but building yourself into someone money naturally follows. Now understand this deeply. Money is not evil. Money is not the enemy. Money simply amplifies who you already are. If you are disciplined, money will strengthen your discipline. If you are careless, money will multiply your carelessness. So the real question is not, how do I get money? The real question is, who am I becoming while I pursue money? That is the difference. Now, a high-value man loves money in the right way. He sees it as responsibility, not identity. He knows money can give comfort, but it cannot give character. Money can give freedom, but it cannot give discipline. Those must come from within. Now let me leave you with this. Earn money, respect money, grow money, but never let money define your worth. Because your true value is not in your wallet. It is in your habits, your discipline, your standards, your character. A high-value man does not chase money. He becomes the kind of man money respects. For things to change, you have to change. So start today. Raise your standards. Control your habits. Respect your time. Build your character. And slowly, you will become the man you are meant to be. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. And keep becoming a high-value man.